Walkability in America is a rare and underrated luxury. In many US cities, daily life without a car isn't just difficult, it's borderline impossible. But a select few cities have done something unusual. They've built or maintained neighborhoods where you can live, work, shop, and socialize all within walking distance. The catch? Most walkable places in the US, think Manhattan or San Francisco, also happen to be some of the most expensive. So today, we're counting down the 10 most walkable cities in America that won't bankrupt you. Before we start, please subscribe and support me on my Patreon. All money goes directly to my university funds. Back to the video. Number 10. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is one of the rare Rust Belt cities that's completely reinvented itself. Its downtown core, Shadyside, Lawrenceville, and Southside neighborhoods are highly walkable, with dense housing, accessible transit, and mixed-use development. According to WalkScore, Pittsburgh scores a walkability rating of 63, putting it in the somewhat walkable range, but neighborhoods like the Strip District push it into the 80s. And cost-wise, the median rent for a one-bedroom apartment is around $1,200, and home prices are well below national averages. Plus, public transit is relatively robust, including a light rail system and extensive bus routes. If you want an affordable East Coast style experience without East Coast prices, Pittsburgh fits. Number 9. Buffalo, New York. Buffalo is cold, and that's partly why it's affordable. But underneath the snow is a surprisingly walkable and livable city. The Elmwood Village and Allentown neighborhoods are highly walkable, with compact streets, historic homes, and a strong sense of local identity. With a walk score of 67, Buffalo edges into the top tier of mid-sized walkable cities, and unlike many of its New York counterparts, it hasn't experienced runaway gentrification. Median rent for a one-bedroom apartment is under $1,100, and home prices average below $250,000. Buffalo also has a light rail downtown and is investing in bike lanes and complete streets programs. Number 8. Richmond, Virginia. Richmond combines historic charm with increasingly modern infrastructure. Neighborhoods like the Fan, Carytown, and Church Hill are some of the most walkable in the South, filled with corner stores, local restaurants, and public parks. With a walk score of 63, Richmond sits in the middle nationally, but its urban grid and relative density make it feel more walkable than the numbers suggest, especially in core neighborhoods. Rent averages around $1,300 for a one-bedroom, and housing remains accessible to many middle-income residents. Public buses are decent, and bike and pedestrian investments are increasing rapidly. If you're enjoying the video so far, please subscribe and support me on my Patreon, link in the description. Number 7. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Milwaukee is often overlooked, but it's one of the most affordable walkable cities in the Midwest. Downtown, the 3rd Ward and East Side neighborhoods offer high walkability, scoring 80+ on WalkScore in some areas. Grocery stores, transit, nightlife, and parks are all within walking distance. With a citywide walk score of 62, Milwaukee doesn't break records, but its design, affordability, and transit options make car-free life very doable. The average rent is just $1,100, and the city has been adding protected bike lanes, pedestrianized plazas, and expanding bus rapid transit routes. It's urban, affordable, and improving fast. Number 6. Providence, Rhode Island. Providence punches far above its weight, with just under 200,000 people. It's compact, dense, and designed for pedestrians, a legacy of its colonial layout and college town vibe. Federal Hill, Fox Point, and downtown Providence offer walkability scores in the 80s and 90s, while the city overall earns a walk score of 76, one of the highest for mid-sized US cities. Public transit includes commuter rail to Boston, buses, and pedestrian bridges connecting major districts. Rent is creeping upwards, but the average is still under $1,500, and cost of living remains manageable compared to nearby Boston or New York. Number 5. Minneapolis, Minnesota. You don't usually associate walkability with snow, but Minneapolis breaks that rule. With a walk score of 71, the city is genuinely pedestrian friendly, particularly in Uptown, North Loop, and downtown. It has an extensive skyway system, indoor pedestrian bridges that make year-round walking realistic. Add in light rail, dedicated bus lanes, and more than 100 miles of protected bike paths, Minneapolis becomes a multimodal powerhouse. Median rent is around $1,300, and home prices are stable. With strong public investment and progressive zoning, it's becoming more affordable and more walkable at the same time. Number 4. St. Louis, Missouri. Despite its reputation for crime and urban decay, the city retains a highly walkable core, especially in neighborhoods like the Central West End, Soulard, and downtown. With a work score of 65, St. Louis is in the somewhat walkable range, but again, specific neighborhoods are far higher. It also has a light rail system known as Metrolink and an ambitious transit-oriented development plan. Rent for a one-bedroom is often under $1,000 a month, and the cost of buying a home is among the lowest of any walkable city in the US. It's not perfect, but if affordability is key, few places offer more walkable space per dollar. Number 3. Portland, Oregon. Portland isn't as cheap as it used to be, but compared to Seattle or San Francisco, it's still relatively affordable and remains one of the most walkable cities in the West. With a walk score of 76, Portland's inner neighborhoods like Pearl District, Hawthorne, and Mississippi Avenue are urban villages full of local shops, transit, and dense housing. Rent is higher, around $1,800 for a one-bedroom, but Portland's extensive light rail and bus network, protected bike lanes, and pedestrian-first policies make living car-free entirely possible. If you can handle the rain, Portland's walkability lifestyle is one of the most complete on the West Coast. Number 2. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia often gets overshadowed by New York and DC, but for walkability on a budget, it's hard to beat. With a walk score of 75, the city is tightly packed with dense row houses, corner stores, and some of the most walkable historic districts in the county, especially in Center City, Fishtown, and University City. Public transit is robust, with buses, trolleys, subways, and regional rail. Rents are lower than many coastal peers, with a median one-bedroom rent of around $1,600, and buying a home remains surprisingly affordable in many neighborhoods. If you want East Coast urbanism without New York prices, Philadelphia is the answer. Before number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Albany, New York, Salt Lake City, Utah, with growing walkability downtown and decent affordability, and Raleigh, North Carolina, a bit suburban, but downtown is improving rapidly. And at number 1, New Orleans, Louisiana. At the top of the list is New Orleans. It tops the list for real practical walkability on a budget. The city's grid layout, streetcar system, and compact neighborhoods make it surprisingly easy to live without a car, particularly in the French Quarter, Bywater, and Garden District. New Orleans earns a walk score of 58, lower than others on the list, but in key neighborhoods, walkability shoots into the 90s. Rents remain affordable, around $1,300 for a one-bedroom apartment, and housing costs are low relative to other cultural cities. Throw in good transit, rich community life, and pedestrian culture, and you have America's most walkable, affordable city, with character to spare. Walkability in America is still the exception, not the norm. But the cities on this list prove that it's possible to live without a car and without breaking the bank. It takes the right mix of density, transit, infrastructure, and increasingly policy. Thanks for watching. Comment, would you live in any of these cities? And support me on Patreon. Link in the description. Thanks a lot.